So my name, as mentioned, is Dr. Julian, and this is what I will be covering for this evening. Latest updates, featured topic of the month, which I will actually be talking on the subject of health, tips and testimonial sharing of the month, events for the coming months as well, not just for September, but for the entire last quarter of 2018. So these are the latest updates. Essentially, we have the Envy Love promotion that the company is offering. So do send in your before and after photos of you using Envy, and you can stand a chance to win the entire set of Envy, which will include the foundation. Obviously, the company will request you to put in your foundation number of your preference, the primer itself, and also the shimmer. So do send in your photos, your before and after photos, to give yourself a chance to win in this competition. So we also started two other promotions, which is a smart delivery promotion. For those of you that are in the business, you know that smart delivery is very, very important. And the company, again, for this year, the second time this year, is throwing an amazing smart delivery promotion. So for 6 months, normally for 6 months, for smart delivery, you will get a bottle of free serum. But in this case, the company is throwing in 2 additional products for free, which is the Reserve, as well as 1 body renewal. So for the 12 months, you're getting 3 boxes of Reserve, 1 body renewal, 1 ultimate lifting mask, and also the standard serum. So amazing free gifts that we are actually getting from our smart delivery. So do take advantage of this promotion. So for those that may be new, these are the new sign-up packages for the month of September. Oh, by the way, for the smart delivery, it actually ends on 16 September. So make sure you take up this opportunity as soon as possible, because it only lasts till the somewhat middle of the month. For those that are for the new signups, these are the promotions. For any jumbo signups, you get 1 box of Reserve. And for 1-year jumbo and 2-month ambassador packages, you actually get 2 boxes of Reserve. So for those that are in the business already, obviously the smart delivery package is still the better option to go with. But this are for the new potential partners that you will be bringing into the business. Do share of this opportunity, this promotion as well. So this is a good news. Just announced today, we actually have the halal certification for Revitablue, Infanka halal certification. So for those of you that are marketing to the Malay market, the Muslim market, take a snapshot of this, because this is something that you can actually start to share with all your Muslim friends, for instance. So this is something new. This hasn't been shared before, but in our monthly directors meeting, this is something that the company management actually gives us monthly updates with regards to price dumping or any products that are actually being sold on other online stores. And the popular ones are Shopee, Carousel, QOO10, 11th Street, and Lazada. So if you look, this is actually for the month of August. So the good news is that the company management is actually taking effort to actually reduce. And in this case, they've actually eliminated any of the postings of any Jeunesse products. Like in the case of Shopee, it was 37, and they actually managed to close all 37. For Carousel, it's 8. For QOO10, there was 0 already. 11th Street, the companies have actually eradicated all this online people dumping or putting their products on these online stores. Even Lazada had 109 listing, and this is down to 0. And this is actually great news, because we've had this problem somewhat since 2015, late 2015, 2016, where people were starting to dump their products at a lower cost, and it actually affected a lot of people. So even some of my business partners were actually affected, and some also, eventually stopped doing the business, but they already had consumers, and they were actually buying it off cheaper from these online stores. But the great news is today, some of my customers, some of my business partners, they are coming back to me and asking me how can they get Reserve, how can they get the new product Revitablue. So the good news is that at least the company management of Malaysia is actually taking extreme measures towards helping all the business partners in Jeunesse, and also this is being done at a global level as well. And Jeunesse, by the way, has one of the lowest compared to any other network marketing companies. A lot of them have this issue as well. So today we can actually be very proud that Jeunesse has done an amazing job. So a round of applause for Jeunesse management. So our executive explosion is also back, and this is extended now to the end of September, 30th of September. So take this opportunity to actually earn extra when you help create executives in your team and help your team members to create more executives as well. This is actually going to help you a long way with regards to your GPS promotion, and as well as the new promotion that will actually be taking its place as well. So this is a new update, as already mentioned. If you're currently working towards the qualification for the Jeunesse GPS bonus, you must achieve those of qualification for the bonus by October 1st, 2018. So you've got until the end of the month, regardless of your progress in the promotion. There will not be any extension. As we all know, the GPS promotion was supposed to run right up to the end of 2018. But the company is instead has actually put this now and will in effect come to an end on the 1st of October. And in its place, the company is actually introducing another promotion, a shorter promotion. But the best part about this promotion is that it's going to reset whatever that you've missed that in the GPS promotion, you will have the opportunity to earn in the next Thrive promotion. So whatever I'm showing you here is still pending, okay? It will be tweaked, but it should be announced at the Thrive event, and it will actually start from the month of October, and it will end at the end of November. So all of us, we have 2 whole months to achieve all these promotions. So for those of you that have actually missed out the Pearl Executive or Sapphire Executive promotions in the GPS promotion, the best news is that this is now all reset, and you can actually go on to actually earn all these bonuses as well. So do refer back to your leaders in terms of how you can actually start earning this. There are actually, we will actually give you tips and advice in terms of how you can actually accelerate the process of earning all these bonuses that you can achieve, you and your team. So for those of you that have actually generated and earned over $6,000 in past Jeunesse promotions, like for me, for instance, I've earned the 6,000 bonus, I've earned a 9,000 US bonus. So for anyone that has earned 6,000 or more in past promotions, the company, you will still be in the running for all these promotions that you see here, but your bonuses will be half of that of those that are actually doing it for the first time. Okay, so those that are doing it and have not earned more than 6,000. So these are the earnings that you see. So the topic of the month that I'll be sharing today will be on health. So as we all know, we actually have 2 amazing products. Reserve is our #1 seller in Jeunesse, and Revitablu that just got recently launched on the 28th of April. So very exciting products. But let me discuss about what health is all about. Health is actually being in a state of balance, right? It's called homeostasis. For those of you that have actually heard on Dr. Nathan Newman, he's actually talked a lot on this topic, and especially the term homeostasis. Essentially, why we age is that the cells in our body are aging. They are also dying. And in order to remain healthy, we want to actually balance the loss of cells. And why we lose cells is through oxidative stress, as you all know, chronic inflammation, as well as glycation. And you know which product actually does support all these 3 aspects of the attacks that undergo our cells in our body undergoes a few 100,000 times daily from all these 3 processes. And that is the product called Reserve. And essentially, how we are able to, there are 2 types of cells. Okay, I want to give you this explanation because I think it's not very clear in terms of the presentation given by the company, Jeunesse, but I want to give you this clarity so you are better able to share what Jeunesse has to offer and actually how well the products work towards countering the aging process in the human body. So, as I mentioned, there are essentially 2 types of cells. Stem cells that are actually the master cells in our body. They actually have no function but they can actually go on to support the creation of specialized cells. So all these stem cells can differentiate itself to nerve cells, cardiac cells, muscle cells, and so forth, and so on. And they are known as specialized cells. And essentially, they are the building blocks, the tissues that makes up all our different organs. And there are over 200 specialized cells in our body. And in our body alone, we have about 40 trillion cells. But the thing is, we are losing 50 billion of these specialized cells, also known as somatic cells, every single day. So don't be overly alarmed, because we actually have 40 trillion cells in our body, but we are losing 50 billion of them daily. And each of these organs will lose these cells at different rates. And the idea, in order to stay healthy, we want to balance the loss of the cells with the replenishment of these loss of 50 billion cells daily. And this is what we want to do. So if you look at how we replenish the loss of cells, there are actually two processes. The first is actually called mitosis. This is where our specialized cells, the somatic cells, there are over 200 of them in our body, can be our skin cells, heart cells, brain cells, retina cells, and so forth. These cells in themselves will actually divide as well, a process called mitosis. And this is actually this is one way in terms of how we replenish the loss of these specialized cells in our body itself. So the second way is what all of you have been introduced to recently. And by the way, when these cells divide, there is a limit in terms of how many times they can be divided, because that limit is known as the Hayflick's limit. It's anywhere from about 40 to 60 divisions. So if we are able to maintain healthy cellular cells, in this case, the somatic cells, the specialized cells, they would be able to hopefully differentiate themselves, or not so much differentiate, but multiply themselves by up to 60 times as opposed to 40 times. And that could make a huge difference. Every time cell division happens, the end caps of our human chromosomes, the telomeres, will actually start to shorten. And we know we actually have another product called Finity that actually has this enzyme called telomerase that supports the re-lengthening of our telomeres, in effect supporting the Hayflick's limit of perhaps instead of just 40 divisions, it would be able to go up all the way up to 60 divisions. So the second process of how we replay cells is that of the release of stem cells from our bone marrow itself. So as you've probably seen all this already through the explanation on what ReVitaBlue does, and this is actually the natural renewal and repair system of the body. So all of these organs, they are aging. So whenever it needs that additional support, it's going to send out a signal, and this signal is then going to flow to our bone marrow, at which point it will actually start to release stem cells from our bone marrow, which will go into our blood circulation. And when it travels in our blood, another signal will be sent by the tissues, organs that requires the support. This is actually called the SDF1 signal. And it will actually start to attract all some of these stem cells that will cause them to migrate to the organs or tissues that requires the support. And once the migration happens, it will start to populate itself, it will start to multiply, and it will also start to differentiate itself once it comes into contact with any tissues or organs to become that cell, that specialized cells. So these are the two ways that how our body actually replenishes the loss of cells in our body. So if you know, in Jeunesse, we actually have two fantastic products. The first of which is reserve. The key word for reserve is that it actually helps us defend, and it actually helps support and keep our cells healthier. I will not go through the details because you've heard a lot about reserve. And tomorrow we actually have our anniversary event on the 9th. Do make sure you do turn out for that. Invite as many friends as well. Chris Cooper, our regional director, will actually be covering the topic on reserve and in depth as well. So let me just quickly skip this. One point of note, and it's not often mentioned, there are essentially two types of resveratrol. There is the cis resveratrol and the trans resveratrol. So if you look at this chart here, it actually indicates that in our reserve, we have 186 milligrams of resveratrol, and it's of the trans resveratrol, which is the good quality resveratrol. because the cis is actually not a good quality and it's actually not very beneficial. So coming to the topic on ReVitaBlue, well, as you all know, it just got recently launched here in Malaysia by Christian Drapo. He's the leading stem cell scientist and botanical researcher, originally from Canada, but based in America. So what he brings in this new formulation of ReVitaBlue, in which is in its 4th edition, in each iteration, there's always an improvement. Obviously, the legacy compound in whatever formulation is produced to date is Phenazone Menon Floss Aqua, which is a blue-green algae, Sebucton, aloe, and beta-glucan. So the key word for ReVitaBlue is actually to renew and to replenish the loss of cells through the release of adult stem cells into our blood circulation that goes on to support any organs and tissues that requires that support. So the release of the adult stem cells as a function of age starts to decline. Say at the age of 0, it's at 100%. Being a baby, we are growing tremendously, and how we grow is that our cells don't grow any bigger. It's through the multiplication of our cells. So obviously at this tender age, we need to be releasing a lot of adult stem cells from our bone marrow that will actually support the growth of our body. But by the age of 35, this has actually dropped down to about 55%. At the age of 50, it's about 50%. And at the age of 65, it's potentially down to 10%. So obviously, we want to have more adult stem cells in our body. It actually supports the natural renewal and repair system of our own body. So at this age in particular, a lot of us have age-related chronic illnesses. It's more important at this age to have more of the adult stem cells to support the renewal function. So as you can see with ReVitaBlue, with AFA alone, it actually supports the increase of up to an additional 30% increase of adult stem cells within the first hour of consuming AFA alone. Aloe increases it by 30%, and it actually stays in our blood circulation for much longer as well. But the best news is that with the Sebucton, which is a new formulation, and it actually increases it by additional 40%. So we should see an additional total of about 10 million adult stem cells from taking ReVitaBlue that goes on to support the healing of our own body. And with beta-glucan, it actually helps the migration of all these stem cells in circulation to any organs, any tissues that requires that support by an additional 2 to 3 million. As you can see, it actually decreases because it's actually being released from our blood circulation. So how do we share about ReVitaBlue? You know, I had the opportunity to meet one of our diamond directors, Double Diamond Yvonne Yen. So she asked me in the simplest form, how do I share about ReVitaBlue? And unfortunately, I failed miserably at that attempt because I was too technical, I was too detailed. So this is what I've come away with after experiencing that episode. This is the breakdown in terms of the simplest form, in terms of actually how we can share about ReVitaBlue. So I've broken it down into 3 simple sentences. And then actually, if you look at it, it actually encompasses everything that ReVitaBlue actually does, and whatever Christian Drapo has actually shared as well. So it actually has the ability of the body to repair and maintain health. Whatever I'm highlighting in yellow are the keywords that you want to have, is directly linked to the number of stem cells in blood circulation to do tissue repair, renewal, and maintenance. So people that contract health problems, that have a lot of health issues, have an average of half the number of stem cells in circulation compared to healthier people. So if there's a means for you to increase the number of stem cells in circulation, you are bound to be healthier. And the best way to do so at the moment is by taking ReVitaBlue, as it actually supports, the keyword here is supports, the natural repair and renewal system of your own body. So do take a snapshot of it. Try to put this into your memory, into your own words if you like, but just remember the keywords, because, and I hope that this will actually simplify the explanation in terms of how ReVitaBlue supports health in general. So health is actually a state of balance. We want to balance the loss of these cells with the renewal of the cells. So as mentioned, Reserve actually supports the defense and keeps and maintains cellular health, both with regards to specialized as well as our master cells. And ReVitaBlue actually goes on to release of these new cells, the master cells, stem cells, that goes on to support all the specialized cells. So essentially, it's very simple. Christian Drapo actually gives a very good analogy to our product in terms of how well it works together. Essentially, Reserve helps us maintain, and keep our cells healthy. They are like our frontline soldiers. So at any point in time when we can keep them healthy, they are going to be able to fight the battle better as well, and they are going to be able to last a lot longer in our body. So there's that less loss of cells in the process. So what ReVitaBlue does is that it actually releases more soldiers, if you like, and it will go to any area that actually needs this additional support. Wherever it's lacking and wherever it's losing the battle, it's losing more cells, it needs that additional support. ReVitaBlue is essentially releasing more of these soldiers to support the existing soldiers. So I hope this gives you a better appreciation in terms of what we have here in Jeunesse and how well it works synergistically together. So now we come on to the tips and testimonial sharing. And the first person I would like to invite, well, all of you would know her, our Ruby director, Chris Chia. As you know, she's been building this business, Jeunesse business, very aggressively with her partner, Alan, and they have been very, very successful. They came up to becoming Ruby very, very quickly as well. And she is actually going to share with us today on her tips on how to leverage company promotions. How does she and Alan actually promote whatever the company may have in terms of promotion to her market, be it existing warm market and especially also the cold market. Chris, are you with us?
Yes,
Hi,
yes,
Chris.
yes, definitely. Yeah, hi.
Good evening to you. Thank you for
Yes,
taking the time. I know you're out, so I hope it's not too noisy an environment for you.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
Chris, do share with us what your tips would be in terms of how do we, as distributors in Jeunesse, can we leverage and maximize this leverage with regards to the company promotions?
Okay, first of all, I want to say is when the Merdeka promotion was launched, I also have hesitated how to promote the product because as you can see in the package, there's ReVitaBlue and Reserve, and ReVitaBlue is very new. But I'm very blessed that before the product was launched, the Diamond Steffie have arranged a lot of training, and of course yourself, Dr. Julian, been explaining to us, try to educate us so that we can actually can deliver the benefits. So when actually this promotion come in, number one, it's very worthy to purchase, and secondly, at the later part when the executive explosion come in, then it can help me to actually elevate the sales as well. So during this Merdeka month, one of the co-market that do the roadshow in the resident before, she actually signed up the Merdeka package because I keep telling her the benefit and also sending her the promotion because I know she wanted the product. So after that, she actually signed up a Merdeka package. But after that, 2 weeks later, she actually signed another Merdeka package. It's the Luminous Skincare.
Wow.
So yeah, it's just a purely cold market. I think I already follow her for 1 month. So when the Merdeka come in, then keep sending her the info, use the voice recording, share with her the benefit. Then she realized the benefit. She also go online to do the research. Then she'll know a lot of benefit. That's one of the testimony. Then the second one is from referral, like just now Dr. Julia has shared, the company have done a very good job actually closing down all the others online platform. So there's a referral from my friend where this customer been consuming Reserve. Okay, so when she called me because she told me I cannot find anymore in Lazada and the price is not competitive anymore. Then I said, okay, yeah, now the company have this promotion where she can buy and consume it at the lower rate. So she personally actually bought 3 Merdeka package for her and the sister consumption. Yeah. So if you're able to tell the value to customers, because in the market, a lot of people, yes, they buy Lazada because cheap, but they also start to have a concern in case they bought a fake product. So when I meet her, I tell her, first, you can consume safely, no risk, because it's 100% from Jeunesse. And also you can enjoy the benefit. And next time, if company have this kind of promotion, you have the first-hand information you can buy at a cheaper rate. So that's how the referral, because so a lot of business partner now telling a lot of your friends you're doing Jeunesse, definitely you will get a lot of this kind of customer or referral from people around you. So the third one also is my another business partner.
Mm-hmm.
She also one person buy 4 Merdeka package.
Wow.
So she also half building the business and mostly consume the product. Also, thanks to the last Zoom section, there's one sharing about the skin cancer, because this business partner, the husband actually have a skin cancer. He's also Australian. So the husband actually 1 year, he actually don't accept supplement, because my business partner and the daughter consume reserve have very good result, but the husband never believe. So I just share with her the Zoom section, the recording and the picture sent to the wife, and the wife just share like that. Then the husband tried it and also apparently have very good result on him as well. So one person buy 4. 3 the Merdeka Nutritionals, and then 1 the Luminous Skincare.
Wow,
so even the consumer, they can leverage this promotion to have a better rate, also push them to see actually this business can do, and a lot of people around us need the product. Yeah, so of course, and on the other hand is whenever there's new promotion, in advance, definitely the leaders will know, and we start share the news to our business partners. So sometimes I learned from previous promotion also, don't wait last minute to blast the information out. Once we have the draft idea, how the promotion go around, we really start blasting the information. So when the official news is out, they are ready to actually buy in the package. Yeah.
Yes. And you're also leveraging on another promotion, which is the Executive Explosion promotion, right?
Yes,
so you've gone on to earn quite a number of that as well. And you're supporting your partners.
As well.
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
Not about us, is telling them how can leverage this company additional cash for them to earn as well. So when we tell them how they can earn, then they will know, then and in the end it will benefit us also. We work the business together.
Yeah, I'll just bring it up here so that I can actually see you better, and I'll be looking up as opposed to looking down. Well, thank you, Chris, for spending the time with us this evening and to share with us your tips on how to leverage the company promotion. So, leaders, do take note of what Chris has actually shared. She's done it for the last promotion. We've got a lot of other new promotions that are actually starting this month. So do take advantage of it. The explosion, the Executive Explosion has been extended for the month of September as well. Do take advantage of that to actually help your business partners to actually earn more when they actually support their partners to become executives, and also to work on the GPS promotion, because this is our last month on GPS, because it comes to an end on the 1st of October. But the good news is that we will have a new Thrive promotion that will be taking its place, that will actually run from the 1st of October till the 30th of November. Right?
Dr. Julian, I want to add one more.
I was just about to ask you.
Because sometimes people think that it's a lot for people to buy the family pack. Means because first, to enjoy the exposure, you buy a family package. So don't have the prejudge or think that people will not want it because they have to pay it upfront. So what I did is don't judge. You just draw how you can earn the commission and let them to decide. So don't prejudge. Whatever promotion we have, just blast it out and let them decide on their own. Because we cannot. If we stop blasting out the information, then your business partner will not know what the promotion. And also the last time the Merdeka Flash also the promotion is very good. So a lot of my my business partner also take advantage on that as well. So my advice is don't think don't make your thinking stop. When I do this promotion, I draw some more how you can earn and send them and do the voice recording.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Thank
That's
you
all about my
for your
sharing.
valuable sharing. Okay,
Thank
Chris,
you.
Good night. So the next person I would like to actually invite on, you would recognize her as well. Amazing leader, Sophia Michelle Lim. She's actually going to share her tips on how to, let's move the slide forward. On how to build the coal market. So hi, good evening to you. Thank you. I know, Michelle, you are one leader that actually works on the coal market, and you've done it very, very well. And I'm sure a lot of the leaders out there would also want to know your secret and what tips and advice that you can actually give them with regards to this market in itself. So, Michelle, why, if you could just share with us and give us some examples in terms of how you actually approach the coal market, that would be fantastic.
Sure. But that's not much of a secret, actually. When you asked me to share about coal market, I was thinking, what do I do? I mean, I don't know what I do. I just be me. So I'm thinking, as I break it down, I'm thinking, why not we learn from children? Because children, they can connect with anyone. They can connect with older people. They connect, of course, with their own age group. They connect with older people. They connect with animals. They even connect with toys. They can have a conversation with anyone.
Yes.
So, I think that we sometimes have this barrier, like what Chris was saying, don't prejudge. Don't have all that voices that come into your head and kind of block you from being the person you are. Just be a friend. And, a smile is contagious. We always say that. A smile could win you a diamond. We don't know. You could be connecting with a diamond. So for me, it's just like, I'm just being me. But one thing that I learned from Jeunesse, especially from USGS, is using the Form HD. I think everyone online would already know about Form HD. But I noticed when you use F, especially in the Form HD, you really connect with that person. And so many times when I'm out there, I see a kid, with the parents or whoever, the mom, and I just smile at the kid, cute kid or whatever, we compliment.
Yes.
Or of course you got to be you got to be real in that compliment, like a smart kid or whatever. And then you start to have smiles from the parents because they are so close to their heart. That little praise can go very far. I mean, be genuine. That very, very important to be genuine. And talking about being genuine is, I guess, also our positioning. Our positioning should be just as a friend. We're not out there to sell a package or, to get them to sign up. We are out there to connect. So I feel that, the term coal market, I don't know, I just, if you have a handshake with someone, the coal market becomes warm straight away. So to me, I don't really see that as a coal market. It's more like making friends.
Correct.
And in the last few years, I have made more friends on the Jeunesse platform. I mean, because of the Jeunesse platform, I've made more friends than I ever did, I think, 40 over years of my life. Yeah. So
that's amazing. Yeah. Well, I know, Michelle, that, when I approached you and asked you if you could actually share in terms of how you can actually build and give advice and tips on how one can actually build a coal market, you were a little hesitant that you didn't have enough to share. And I feel that you are a person that you truly share from the heart. You're very genuine, and that's something that is something that is very powerful. And that's the best way to approach. So I've actually, through my analytical mind, broken it down and to actually help support in terms of helping you to explain your approach. And I've ran it through with you a little earlier. So mindset is very important. As you said, we are not coming from a point of view of selling something. First of all, when we have this mindset of approaching others, I know all of us as leaders, you're working towards your GPS, you're working towards building momentum in your team. The idea is to meet your target. But at the end of the day, it's having that right mindset when we approach others, that is not first and foremost in our mind, right? And
that's right.
we actually come across as someone that is looking in terms of how we can support and help them.
Exactly. Just on that point, actually, like even sharing a table at a mealtime, and there was, not much space in this coffee shop at Mid Valley one day, so I decided to share a table. It's not fun to just eat alone and just, so there was this guy opposite, and he's nice enough to share the table with me. So I just started a conversation. Is he local? Is he here, working here? Just use questions. I feel questions to find out more about him and what he does, and through him, just that conversation. So I actually invited him to Jeunesse University, but I didn't talk about Jeunesse. I just said, for me at that point was, how could I help this person? And it's the same with the team members. Every morning when I wake up, the first question that comes to my mind is, who can I help today? Is it a team member or is it a prospect? So I think, our mindset, definitely, our positioning, our mindset, we need to come from the point of helping. How can we be of service? How can we be of value to that person?
Very, very true. Very, very good point there, Michelle. Thank you. So you touched on this as well, to connect, to build rapport and trust. That's very, very important. Obviously, and more so when with regards to a cold market. A warm market, that trust element may be already in place. That is why, in a way, in our USGS system, it's always best to approach the warm market, because the trust element is in place. When we approach the cold market, we have to take that time to build that friendship, to build rapport, to build trust. And the process can sometimes take longer. But I mean, in your case, I find that you are able to connect well with a lot of people, and you do that, as you mentioned, through Form HD, and you do it very, very well, and especially with regards to family. It's at the end of the day, it's making it all about them, right?
Correct.
And it's all about how we make them feel. That's more important than anything else in this platform, in terms of how we share, because no one cares in terms of how much we know until they know that how much we care.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it applies to the team members as well. There are many leaders online now, and I feel that, if we can genuinely care for our team members, not just on the Jeunesse business, actually, like the whole person, because we are not just business partners. I feel like we are life partners. We work together, yes, on the Jeunesse platform, but there's more to it. And it is making a difference in people's lives. That's how I see it. Yeah. Fantastic. Sometimes I see when we connect, or, strangers or co-market or whatever, we call them, I find that, that you will come to a point that you will have a lot of people, a lot of contacts. And, my advice is keep doing that, practice, keep adding 2 contacts every day to the name list. And you will never run out of contacts. In fact, I sometimes don't even have time to follow up with them.
That's true. And it's not just your contacts that you come in touch with. It's also leveraging on those of your business partners. So we will forever, potentially stay in a warm market, and also we can continue to build a cold market as well in the same process. Right?
That's right.
So it's in your case, it's not about pushing. And I think you have a very good example with regards to Chandran is a very good example, right? In this regard, because when you first met up with him, you spent about an hour and a half sharing the opportunity and so forth, but you never really pushed. And then this business, I believe, is all about attraction. And you did it very well, to the extent that even if you didn't ask that final question for this first session with him, he was already ready. He was actually prepared to actually sign up, right?
Yeah, it was a funny thing with Chandra, because I actually bumped into him in Penang. Like, both of us are from PJ or Selangor.
Right.
But I was meeting a friend in Penang and at Starbucks, and then he knew the friend and had a handshake, and then we exchanged name cards.
Right.
And I looked at the name card and I saw, this is a PJ address. Okay, we'll catch up. When we get back. Yes. And that's what I did. The next day we rang, we fixed an appointment, and we caught up and did really, Form HD, a lot of that, really finding out where he's at. And we also talked about, his a little bit of the pain that he was experiencing.
Right.
So I think it was kind of like, I don't know what term you use that, but it's like when you ask enough questions to someone, and they themselves admit, or they themselves know that there is a particular gap or pain, in their life.
Yeah.
And what you offer can fulfill that gap.
Yes.
I think then they would be like, ready.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, to come on. Yeah.
All right. Well done. So always be sharing value, right? As you just said, it's all about value and whether they see that value, and in terms of filling that gap. And in this case, it's also important to identify whether it's important enough, whatever we've shared, the value that we've shared is important enough for them to move with it now, right?
Correct.
So if we have that opportunity to move with them now, do seize the opportunity. Okay, but this is something that we need to ask, which you probably didn't do it at that point in time. You probably felt he wasn't ready, but in fact he was. But so it is very important that we know where they stand with regards to the value that the opportunity or whatever that the company has to offer. So
That's right.
and this is something that you're great at doing as well, because in most instances it's not just about connecting with them just on that day itself or from that session. Sometimes it takes a while before they really truly see the value, right? And sometimes they also want to see whether you are the right business partner. And by the way you approach them and how you follow up with them, when we do it right, it becomes an attraction. And especially more so when the value that we have to share, fits whatever needs, that gap, as you said, that they have in their own lives. Do you have anything to share with regards to follow-up and the importance of it?
Definitely, follow-up is very, very important, because to me, everyone is a diamond. Kim Hui says that. And if we know Yvonne Yan's story, Double Diamond Yvonne Yan, it took her a few months before she went 100% into the business. So that follow-up, I believe, from Presidential Diamond Kim Hui and then Samson, that was important for that to happen. Right. And that actually brought Yvonne Yan to see the bigger picture of Jeunesse and the value. So definitely, we may have team members that may be perceived as maybe sleeping or in so-called, like when we say ICU, but I believe everyone is a diamond. It's just their timing. Sometimes it's maybe 1 month, you kind of have to follow up, 2 months, I don't know, maybe a year.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
Whatever it is, whatever length of time, I believe it's worth it.
Yeah. And that's why our name list is very important. Because
Correct.
if we try to keep everything in our head, we are bound to forget them, right?
Yes.
So the name,
Yes.
keeping that name list and knowing how to follow up on them, and when we follow up on them with them is very, very important.
That's right. I'm having this right in front because I got a few more follow-ups to do after this.
Oh, fantastic. So do stay on with us, because the next person I'm going to actually bring on is actually Chandran himself. So it's actually good to actually hear from him. But before
Hi, Chandran.
Hey,
Chandran,
guys.
are you with us?
I am.
Hi.
I am. Thanks,
Good. So, hi. So, could you just share with us in terms of how Michelle actually approached you? Being a very cold market.
Absolutely right. She met up with me in Penang, and when we came back and discussed. See, have been in sales for a long time. So, having been in sales, the question that puzzled me at the end of that long discussion covering Form HD in a way that it's not telling you it's Form HD, but going through all the questions. It was amazing that she didn't ask me the question, whether you want to join. And I was looking at that puzzled as a salesperson. Why is this girl not asking me this question? So it happened the next day. So she called the next day and she followed through. And we had already built on the trust, and I found her family interesting. She had a daughter and she had a husband who is a foreigner. So it's just that trust element. And when the follow-up came, it was easy to sign on.
Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. Do stay on with us, Chandran, because you'll be coming up next. I still have one more slide. I just realized
Sure.
It's what holds our prospects back with regards to moving ahead with whatever the values that we've shared, and often it's due to two reasons. One is often a lot of people says I don't have the money, right? Or it can be also I don't have the time. So if we actually look at it and if we share, and in terms of the business, and we actually show the value of whatever we have to offer, and it actually meets their needs in life, when value exceeds price becomes irrelevant, right? So it's always about value and identifying their needs and showing them the value in terms of how this opportunity can actually help them. Because when they see that value, and it's important enough for them to move ahead with it now, they will actually proceed with whatever that we have to share with them. So Chandran, this is your product testimony with regards to, this is a very famous photo that's been going around on social media as well. And this is the before and after, which is amazing in itself. If you could just share with us about this story that you have here.
Sure, I'll do that. 2 years back, before I started with Jeunesse, my wife had already spotted the balding, because with guys, it's always at the back. So at that time, I was 58, and I was thinking, yeah, we are getting old, so let it be. But when I joined Jeunesse, the initial pack that I got had these items in it, a serum and a cleanser. So I was thinking, instead of using it for the face, let me use it for the skin part, which is balding, and see whether it works. And that's what exactly happened. So I cleansed my hair with the serum by lathering it, and it became a shampoo. And then I used the serum, I cleansed it with the cleanser, and I used the serum to squirt to the points that I wanted the hair to grow, which was at the back. And after a while, as you can see, the 3 weeks and the 3 months photographs.
Amazing results.
So it was interesting. When I went to have my hair cut, the guy says, hey, I can see new strands of hair growing.
Wow.
Although they are weak, but they are growing. Wow. So that's the first testimony.
That's great. It's not only that, it doesn't stop there, because look at this. Your before and after, which is, look at that transformation. This was at lead event, right?
Yes.
Yeah, lead event. Yes. And this is today.
Yeah.
So do tell us more about, what transpired from that point to where you are today.
I needed to do was to work on something significant, like my hair, was my own body. I was obese for the longest of time. Maybe 30 years of not exercising caused that to happen. And so I went ahead to the Singapore event where they launched Zen products. ZP8 is the Zen Project 8 products.
Right.
And I purchased a pack from there. And I came back, and within a 100-day period, I lost 15 kg.
Wow.
So that was very significant for me.
That's amazing.
When I measured my weight on a in-body measurement, they told the weight read that my metabolic age was 45.
Wow.
So I'm really excited.
That's 15 years younger.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you had to also dig up all your old clothes, isn't it? Your waistline has really, what did your waistline, what was it? And
so
what
it was 46 at that time when I was at my peak of obesity. And I'm using a 30-inch waist now.
Wow, that's huge. Huge difference. Well, congratulations. Well done. And it's amazing. And I'm sure these stories that you have to share, and it's reflected on you, is that, do you find that your friends who you are coming to you and asking what happened?
Yeah. I just put it out on my Facebook, the same picture you see here. I've got close to 200 likes.
Wow. Well done. Well done. Do connect with them and build, take advantage and create a massive momentum from it. So congratulations, Chandran.
Thank you.
And thank you for spending the evening with us. So now we'll actually move on to a lovely couple that just started with us not too long ago. You can see them here, Trevor and Lydia. Are you with us, Trevor? Lydia?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Hi. Great to see you guys.
Hi. Good evening.
Good evening. So, Trevor, I know you guys have got amazing sharing product testimonial stories to tell of your own as well. Perhaps we could start with you, Trevor. Just share with us a little in terms of how Revita Blue Reserve has actually helped you, and then after that, Lydia as well.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Trevor. I've been in Jeunesse for the last 5 months, and I've been consuming Reserve and Revita Blue on a very regular basis. Tonight, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself and my challenges. I was born with asthma. As a child, I had asthma. So growing up was difficult, to say the least. I was prevented from being involved in any kind of active sport. But then as I grew slightly older, I took up some breathing exercises, and I dabbled a little bit in martial arts just to improve the form. In my young adult life and my later adult life, ranging from my teens, 18 till about early 35, 36, no worries about asthma. Asthma didn't bother me, but then it came back with a vengeance, yeah? Living the corporate life, working the corporate routine. I'm sure many of you people out there can relate to it, you know, dining and entertaining clients, and then the stress. The asthma came back with a vengeance. It got so bad that I had to put myself on a nebulizer, not the inhaler, but the nebulizer. And a day wouldn't pass by when I would need the nebulizer at least once a day. Right? 5 months ago, when I first entered Jeunesse, I started taking the Reserve and the Revita Blue on a regular basis. Yeah. The first 3 weeks were a bit of a test, because I believe that was the healing crisis, because my asthma played up even more then. But after that point, after that first 3 weeks, really wonderful things happened. I was breathing without any inhaler, any medication, without the nebulizer, and that's my asthma journey. But I also have an autoimmune allergy problem, which causes me to break out in hives, big swollen lumps all over my body, and an incident actually happened while I was at the Jeunesse office with Chandran, my wife, and some of you guys. And Lydia told me to quietly consume the 2 packets of Reserve and to later include 2 packets of Revita Blue in a period of about 30 minutes. And I did that. And you know, within about 40 minutes or so after our meeting, everything subsided and it didn't bother me. But for the record, until today, neither my asthma nor my autoimmune system has started to bug me at all.
Wow, that's amazing. Well done.
But I just, one other thing I'd like to share at this point, about a month ago, I started having severe pains on the left side of my chest, right? The pain was there constantly. It wouldn't go away. It was just a constant pain, right? Day and night. I started to sweat profusely, and I was finding that I suddenly became short breath. And I was worried, is this my asthma playing up again or not? But then you see, in my family, Dad and my other 2 brothers had a triple heart bypass. So hereditary wise, I knew I could be heading down the same road. Okay. So what happened was, Lydia put me on a super dose for the next 3 weeks of 3 packets of Reserve in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. All right. After that period of 3 weeks, the pain was just left me. Now, to give credit to that, I went to a roadshow, medical roadshow, and got myself examined. And the physician that examined me told me I had a healthy pumping heart with healthy pumping bloodstream. So, you know,
fantastic.
That really has done a lot for me. Yeah. I am now on the same Zen 8 project with Chandran. I've been inspired by Chandran. And today is my 9th day. Yep. I have lost, from today onwards, I've lost 4 kg.
Wow. And in just 9 days.
Yep.
That's amazing.
And I intend to lose a lot more in my journey in the next few weeks' time. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, we look forward to hearing more from you as well on that front. Yeah?
Sure. No worries, Dr. Julian.
Thanks. Thank you, Trevor. So
now
perhaps we can...
now over to Lydia.
Yes, please. Lydia, hi. You've got an amazing story as well, Lydia. Do share with us in terms of what you went through the last 4 years, and how you how you feel that Jeunesse has actually, the products in Jeunesse, our Reserve and Revital has actually supported you for the last few months.
Yeah, okay. Try to keep it very short.
Okay. Thank you.
Basically, it started out from my post-op because I actually had a very major surgery last year, 2017, early August. I had to go for a total hysterectomy because after 4 years of going in and out, seeing an ONG, where the results were not conclusive. So finally, when I checked myself in Sunway, the ONG that saw me was actually an oncologist ONG. So he finally told me that that actually I've been diagnosed with cancer, but I think it was misdiagnosed over the years. And when I finally had to go for the surgery, he told me I had to do a full total hysterectomy because it was a 3rd stage cancer. So after having gone through that, I think my biggest challenge was my post-op. I was feeling very weak. I was tired most of the time. I couldn't sleep. My appetite was bad, and sometimes my mood would just take a dip, and I just can't come out of it. It was very challenging, and I was taking a lot of supplements, I think about 20-30 different type of supplements. Wow. And the challenging part of doing that is that I had to break it down to 3-4 times a day, and even then one of the biggest hurdle was being bloated and having reflux and all that, because it's too much. And I told myself, I'm sure there's a better way of me consuming all the supplements and gaining a stable health. So finally, when Revital Blue was launched, I was invited by Chandran to go. I started in May, and what I found is, after consuming Reserve together with Revital Blue, I slowly managed to actually cut down all my other supplements because I was feeling better. My energy was enhanced. My appetite was slightly better. In fact, one of the things that I encountered taking Revital Blue on its own was that every time when I took it, I felt very sleepy, and I didn't understand why. But I think it was a way my body was reacting to it, because usually, when you sleep, that's where your cells prepare, So it's like my body telling me, you need to go and sleep. So I used to take that every night, which actually really helped me a lot. And by sleeping well, my inflammation went down. In fact, I was seeing a physiotherapist over the past 3 months, and my session was twice a week, because my pain was really my pain, although I had very high threshold for pain, but it became unbearable. So it's been 3 months already, and now the biggest gap was 1 month. I haven't gone for 1 month until today. And today when I went, my physiotherapist was telling me, I'm doing very well. My pain tolerance is better. I can move. It's not so stiff. And I believe the combination of Revital Blue and Reserve has actually helped me a lot move forward and enhance my health,
Amazing. Well, amazing story there, Lydia. Thank you. And I'm glad that you are out of that position and that you're on the road to recovery. So yes, great news.
Of course, I'm not out of the woods yet.
Yes, but
I'm still
en route.
Feeling better,
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll be able to move faster as I go along.
Okay. Thank you for the lovely sharing. Right. And it's amazing. The two of you have amazing testimonies. So thank you again for spending the time with us. So let us quickly move on to the last session.
Thank you.
Thank you. So the next we'll actually be discussing on the events for the coming month of September. So as you know, there's a lot to look forward to. And the first event is actually just a day away. It's tomorrow, where we'll actually be celebrating our 9th year anniversary. Chris Cooper, our regional director, will actually talking on health, and in particular about reserve. So make sure you invite as many friends as you can for that event. See you there tomorrow. We also have the potluck gathering this coming on the 9th, which is on Sunday itself from 12 to 3:30 p.m. So invite as many friends as well. It's open to those of us that are already partners to actually be able to build rapport and to just, to have a bonding session, and also to actually for us to introduce new partners potentially into what Jeunesse has to offer them. Well, this is something that all of us are very excited for this month, which is the Thrive event that will actually take place. Most of us will be traveling on the 20th itself. So we'll be there from the 21st, and actually ends on the 23rd, and most of us will be flying back on the 24th itself. So it's a great chance for those of you that are very new, that have not even met the founders, our medical advisors as well. Great opportunity to have photo sessions with them. A great session, a great time to actually hear tremendous success stories and tips from the leaders from around the world. And invite, obviously in Jeunesse is all about leverage, and one of the key to success in Jeunesse is to leverage on the events, and especially on such a major event as we have here in Thrive. And also to actually meet like-minded individuals and to build collaborations, because remember, this is truly a global business. So we want to have that opportunity to meet others from around the world, that we can actually work with them potentially to actually help our partners if they are from their respective countries as well. So this is very exciting. Being the 9th year anniversary, 9 is actually a very significant number for Jeunesse. We started on 9th of September 2009. 9 represents longevity. So if you ask me, this is going to be one of the most exciting. It is definitely the biggest expo event with about 55,000 partners around the world celebrating in 5 different regions. So don't miss it. It's not too late. You can still get your tickets, and even the buy one, get free one. We are on the 5th today. You still have another 2 more days. If you buy the tickets at 6,298 baht, you will get an extra ticket for free. So you can actually bring your spouse, you can actually bring and invite your friend as well for the event. So this is the update. You'll be able to find more information on this. It's the same information on our Jeunesse Expo website. But these are some new additions from our Malaysian team and are also the USGS agenda. So on the first day, on the 21st of September, which is on Friday, the first session, which is a breakout session, starting at 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., is actually a USGS open session. So it's not a closed one just for USGS partners, but it's open to everyone at the event itself. So be there early to ensure that you get great seats. Kim Hui is going to be there. Well, for a group on the second day itself, which is on Saturday, we'll have a group photo for the Malaysian team. So the venue is to be confirmed, but we will have it during the lunch session. Lunch actually starts from 12 on the second. Yes, it starts from 12, ends at 1:30. So what we'll do is we'll actually meet at 1 p.m. And as I mentioned, venue is to be confirmed. And lastly, on the last day itself, the closing session, our presidential Kim Hui will actually be giving a speech as well. So make sure that you have all this penned down and that you don't actually miss all this as well. So this is a summary of all the events for the month of September. For tomorrow's event, we're actually starting earlier because we'll actually start with refreshments starting from 6:30. The main event itself will start at 7:30 p.m. So the 9th, do take a snapshot, our expo event, and also towards the end of the month, we'll actually have and organize our own team's Mid-Autumn Festival dinner. So this is the events for the month of October. So there'll be a sharing in terms of Expo 9 experience preview at the office itself. There'll be a team qualifier retreat. This is for our own team at Port Dickson on the 6th of 7th in October. 13th is the Discover Jeunesse event at Quattro West. 18th is a Look Young special talk series, also at the office, organized by the company itself. And we have 2 Revitalblue roadshows in East Malaysia, Kota Kinabalu or Kuching. It could be any one of these days, but it'll start on the 20th and on the 21st. do start inviting anyone that you know in these two places to actually attend our Revive to Blue Roadshow. On November and December, we are coming up to the end of the year already. On the 8th of November, just take a snapshot of all this. We've already spent quite a bit of time, just over an hour now on this session. So just do take a snapshot, make a note of it. Obviously, the main highlight is actually our own anniversary event. This year, we'll be conducting it a little different. It's going to be a Jeunesse Carnival. It's going to be a more informal, and it's going to be a much more fun and engaging session as well. And there will also obviously be the Star Gala, and this will actually be held at the KL Convention Center itself. So do take snapshots of all these events. Make sure you plug into all of them, leverage on them, leverage on all the promotions that the company is offering, leverage the support that the company is giving, leverage the events, leverage the leaders to actually help you get started and to actually build momentum for you and your team. So we'll see you tomorrow at our anniversary event at the office tomorrow from 6:30 p.m. I'll see you guys there tomorrow. Bye.